Rostislav III, known as one of the best amateur light heavyweight boxers at the end of the 20th century. He was a repeated world champion, winner of the USSR and UIC Cups, World Cups winner, and winner of many European championships. He was a silver medal winner of the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona, where he participated as a part of the UIC team. As an amateur, he conducted 252 fights and won over 230 of them. He started at the age of 15 and continued boxing for another 15 years. I was highly motivated by the desire to be a famous boxer. I wanted people to talk and write about me. I wanted to be wealthy. I often used to fight with Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko as sparring partners. Of course, they are now famous professional boxers and world champions. Even though I was a light heavyweight boxer, while the Klitschko brothers are heavyweights, we fought as equals. We never showed any mercy towards each other. By the way, I was an amateur boxer at the same time as Oleg Maskiev. He is now the famous UBC champion. I also trained and fought with the other very famous boxer, Kostya Tszyu, who currently lives in Australia. In 1998, I moved to the United States looking for a better life. I had to start a new life from nothing and had to forget about my past life and former titles. At first, I worked for almost no money. But you might ask, why did I decide to emigrate? I was such a famous boxer and sportsman. But you have to remember that in 1998, I was approaching 30 years and could see my boxing career was coming to an end. My participation at the Olympic Games in Atlanta was unsuccessful. I suffered a lot of injuries, including a torn leg muscle, and my age was becoming a factor. Why didn't I just move on to professional boxing? I just wouldn't be able to because of my injuries. My joints hurt, so I decided to quit and leave boxing. As for being a boxing coach, it wasn't well paid at the time, and it isn't now as well. I did not know how to do anything else but boxing, and I was used to fame and money, and I felt vulnerable in the society that I was living in. So I decided to try living in the U.S. I ended up in Chicago. It seems everything is very simple. You're born, then you go to kindergarten and school, and then if you're lucky, go to college. Then you pursue a career, start a family, and have kids, and so on. You run around, you fuss a lot, minor problems make you nervous. I remember having questions about the meaning of life, such as, why do I live? What am I living for? Why was this world created? And all of this when I was 8 or 9 years old. I spent many long years searching for answers to these questions. I studied Eastern and Western cultures and various New Age ideas and techniques. I thought maybe religion would help me find the answers. I even started going to a Russian Orthodox church and made friends with a priest. I had frequent talks with him, and he always had one response to my questions: pray and lead a spiritual life. How can I lead such a life? But his answer always was, pray and make donations to the church. And I am at this line again, as one song says, with the same questions and no answers. As time went on, I started my own business, giving me plenty of money to live on and some free time. It seemed that I got everything I wanted. On occasion, I'd go to my balcony with a cigarette and I'd look at the ocean. But thoughts would come up to my mind. Again, the questions. What kind of life is this? I eat, sleep, travel, and yet life is ebbing away. What am I living for? Is life just to be born and then die? I believed in God, but I never accepted the institution of religion. I felt that a higher power exists and that it rules us. One day my wife brought home a newspaper with information about Kabbalah. I went to the Kabbalah.info site and understood that this thing is mine. I could own it. And when I read my first Kabbalah book, The Spiritual Search, it was like a bolt of lightning. This book explained in an easy-to-understand way everything I was searching for such a long time. It answered all the questions that I was tortured by. Kabbalah is the revealing of the Creator by its creatures in this world. This science gives accurate methods of how to reach this. When I first participated in the New York Congress, I felt that I was living in a special world. Different people from all over the place gathered together, and you would never see anywhere else in the world such kind of unity. Unity of thoughts, actions, and the way everybody seemed to understand you without even speaking. It was a special place. When 1,500 men put hands on each other's shoulders and began to cry, it's not a game. It's our hearts crying out. This Congress would never end because we have passed through a certain point which we couldn't reach before. Now, if someone asked me what I have found in Kabbalah, I would have to answer that Kabbalah gives one a chance of feeling the higher mind which is ruling us. And it gives us the ability of becoming one with this mind while still living in this world. Many of us know that there's some higher force, but they have no idea of how to connect with it.